6th episode in 3, 2, 1.
All right. Welcome to the Wild Cannons podcast. To my left, we have Jeff as a host. How you doing, Jeff?
I'm doing good. It's good to be in the studio. Cheers.
Yeah.
And we have our special guest, Emma Hall, 7B, Schweitzer local, contest winner, bank slalom racer, backcountry ripper. How you doing?
Big title.
So far, so good.
So far,
Excited
so good.
to be here.
Excited to be here.
Yeah.
We're happy to have you. Over the last 2 years, you've really tapped into the full Northwest Snowboard scene. And we're going to dive into that. So this is going to be exciting because I know you've been up to a lot.
Yeah.
And before we get into that, our last 3 guests have all had nicknames. So we had Powder Panda, we had Frank the Tank, and then we had Grandpa.
Grandpa.
That
one's wild. That's,
he's a kind of wild character too. So do you have a nickname?
unfortunately, I do not. I feel like there's nothing really cool that rhymes with Emma. So
No?
No?
I got some weird ones, but
What's
kind
the
of just, I don't know. Some people it's kind of goofy, but the Terminator,
Terminator?
Mighty Mouse. I don't know, a bunch of random ones that have come about over the years, but none of them really seem to fit too well.
So
None of them stick.
Yeah.
a little bird in my ear said that it might be Mighty Mouse, might be a nickname.
Yeah.
So does that ever come up? So I like Terminator though.
Yeah, no, Mighty Mouse comes up a lot. I feel like just because I'm a smaller person and I don't know. I'm not sure how that really came about, but
Yeah.
Where does Terminator come from?
I
Being
don't
able to take
really
some
know.
slams?
What was that?
Being able to take some slams on the hill? Or?
Yeah, I don't know. I think just I kind of just when I was younger, I would kind of go at things kind of head first a little, and maybe that's what came about. I don't know. Just people have been calling me that, so weird.
Terminated. Awesome. We also just had Ryan show up. Ryan, how you doing?
I'm doing good. Busy day, but we're here.
Awesome. Glad you can make it.
Nice to meet you, Emma. I don't think we've met before, so
Yeah, it's nice to meet you
good
too.
to meet you.
And kind of, yeah, as you guys are just getting introduced, let's kind of give a little background of how we met. You were actually doing your Avi one the same time Jeff and I were, and there was maybe 5 snowboarders in the whole thing. So we kind of stood out pretty obviously. That was the first time that, we were kind of first introduced to you. And then I know Jeff has, a little more
What
of a
age
story.
were you then when you did that, Abby?
Oh man, I probably 15 or 16, I think.
Yeah, because you were just able to drive up to the mountain and do that class. Yeah. Oh, well, I do remember meeting you then. Another time, you're always at the slalom races and stuff.
Yeah.
And I go to check in, and my last name is also Hall, and they're like, oh, all the Halls already checked in. I'm like, no, they didn't. But I entered the race.
Yeah.
But they were talking about your family and everybody else.
You entered the race in the Grandpa category.
Yeah, so I guess I needed to change my last name for the competitions. But.
Yeah, that's
Sorry.
crazy. I feel like Hall's not a super common last name too, so that's crazy that we both are in the same boat.
Yeah, both ripping, both podium winners, both podium winners. We will say that. So we have a little bit of connection, like I said before. Schweitzer local dog. And what have you been up to this summer?
Over the summer, mostly just chilling. I broke my back, so kind of coming back from that. Just yeah.
So, and that's something that we're wanting to touch on. But can you just give us a little bit of what that entails?
So I don't know. I mean, I'm mostly healed up from it. Definitely still doing PT. Kind of. I'll be back by winter, which is good. But it definitely still feel it when I twist. It's been about 8 weeks now, so hopefully it'll go away. But my hopes are high. And if I was gonna break my back, it was the best way to break my back possible, because it was the T9, and it was only a little piece of it's floating around in there, but it's on the other side of the scary side of the spine, I would say.
It all sounds scary.
The best way.
The best way. Damn, that's crazy. And then was that at Hood?
Yeah, I was up doing the solstice jump, and unfortunately I got too excited and doing a little bit too fast and too big, and how it goes.
Yeah. Well, glad to hear that you're on the recovery, that your spirits are high.
Yeah.
And we hope that you get back sooner than later. Awesome. As we kind of roll with this podcast, we're going to do a little backstory. So we'll kind of ask about your backstory and then kick it off from there. So when did you get into snowboarding? How old were you? Where did you start?
I went out a couple of times between like 5 and 6, but I didn't really super start until around age 7, I'd say.
So age 7, is that Schweitzer?
Yes. Yeah. Up at Schweitzer. Loved it. I like immediately just wanted to be the best snowboarder on the mountain. I don't know why, but I was just like determined.
To be the best?
Yes.
Straight to snowboarding too, no skiing?
No skiing. My dad would never.
Right. Yeah. What's up, Adam? So I'm assuming so dad was the one who got you on a board?
Yeah, definitely. He, like, ever since we were super little, like, we were even, like, messing around with the snowboard when we were little, and, like, he'd, like, put us on it. We'd go down, like, sledding, but, like, stand on the sleds, like, very big push from my dad, which was nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then have you always been in the Sandpoint area?
No. So originally I'm from Wisconsin, like Hayward, Wisconsin area. I moved to Sandpoint when I was, like, 3 years old, but we usually go visit, like, every summer.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Nice. And then just kind of fast forward a little bit. We know that you're splitboarding. Mm-hmm. So when did you start doing that? How long after, riding were you on a splitboard?
I would say probably when I was about like 15, I got my first split board, which was pretty cool. Did not know how to use it, but it was a fun learning curve. Yeah.
And then when you're talking about that learning curve, were you out there by yourself? Were you with friends? Were you with your dad? And where?
It was mostly like with my friends, with my dad, like kind of just trying to work with. I got like my first split board off of Facebook Marketplace and trying to work with like the old split board gear and like the Capricorn bindings that like were really like did not work and would fall apart every other day.
And weighed like a couple 100 pounds too.
Yeah, probably. Definitely. And it was fun. It was definitely like taught me how to deal with certain situations, like tricky situations where like your binding breaks, or like there's been a couple of times where I'd have to like ride down with one binding because I couldn't get the other one like on and stuff like that. But
that's wild.
It's a learning curve.
So you're a MacGyver, basically.
Yeah.
You're a MacGyver with the split board.
Yes.
And so that's what I think of when we start thinking of the culture of Schweitzer and then who you're riding with. Who's like, who's your crew? Who are you riding with, on the daily?
Mostly at Schweitzer, I would be riding with skiers, ironically enough, just because there's not like a huge snowboard scene up there. So I kind of got taken in by like this group of like freeride skiers, like Lydia Nelson. She's on tour now. She's like just a bunch of like that whole crew, basically, and then also 7B Board Shop, like when they do make it up. Yeah.
Right. So 7B definitely. A staple in this area, and then everything that Rory's doing is, to me, I think right now he's probably doing the most for our area, for snowboarding specifically. I know definitely in the skateboard world as well, but I think he and Josh at Pistol have been two strongholds in our area, and right now Rory probably has a maybe even a stronger fist of and pillar of our area. So that's awesome that you're connected and riding with those guys. So we talked about those influences. You have your sister, who you're riding with. Yeah. What about the competition there?
We butt heads. We definitely butt heads. Maddie and I have we're two very we have very different riding styles. I'd say she's much more aggressive, and I feel like I'm a bit more flowy and she's a lot faster than me. I'd say for sure. But then, when it comes to, free ride and that kind of stuff, that's where I kind of shine a bit more.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
So when you're saying faster, do you mean just, out on the mountain, every day, a Tuesday, riding? Or are you talking, racing?
I'd say racing. For sure. She's faster. I think, everyday riding, I don't know. I spend a bit more time, on the hill than she gets, just because I did, online school for a while. So I'm a bit faster, when it comes to, just everyday riding, but she's way faster than me on a slalom. I don't know what she's eating or what's going on there, but it's crazy.
Yeah. And that's funny that you say that. So I did an interview for Out There with you both. And she was very much more in the competitive world, even just the way she would answer questions.
Yes.
So you could kind of see that a couple of years ago. She wanted to, make sure that big sister maybe was, in the dust at times.
Yes.
So that's cool that you're able to complement each other and have that sibling rivalry because you're both going to get better.
Yeah.
In that sense. Awesome. Next question that we're looking at is to expand more, as you said, doing online, during your high school year or years, I guess. Can you expand on that?
I did mostly just Connections Academy. Switched over during COVID. I feel like a lot of people kind of did that. Like during COVID, couldn't go to school, so basically I spent most of my time like up on the mountain or like all that good stuff. But yeah, so just decided Connections was for me. Not super into the whole college thing quite yet, but kind of looking into it maybe. It's just hard to do school and snowboard sometimes.
Yes, and work.
Yes, yeah.
That's awesome. So I know when you're thinking of this alternative route, you wanted a bunch of days on the mountain. So how many days do you have on the mountain? About a year?
Probably like this last year, I think I got like 150-ish. Maybe a little bit more. I don't know.
That's a lot. Yeah. That's a lot of days. That's a lot of days. Right there. Yeah, you probably got 100 more than me last year. Mine was cut a little short. What about you boys? How many days do you guys think you got in last year?
Probably 40.
Yeah, I'm going to say 60. But I had to go on really bad days, too. So it wasn't the best year. But
definitely true.
Yeah.
150 is that's a lot of day on a board.
Oh, that's awesome.
I like to be on board.
That's rad.
How many days did you not go?
I don't know.
That might be easier.
Yeah.
There's that one Sunday.
One Sunday.
Do you skateboard, or just a little off topic, but do you skateboard or surf or anything like that? Or
A little bit. I like to dabble on a skateboard. Definitely a bit newer to it, so I'm not quite as skilled as most, but it's fun. It's fun to get around and get out there a bit.
Yeah, Sandpoint has some cool areas too, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, no, they just fixed up the skate park, so that's pretty cool.
Yeah, the expansion on the skate park. And that's what I was going to ask also, because I'm pretty sure I saw you on a skateboard recently when you're talking about your back injury, and I was like, what?
Yeah, I just get so excited. I just want to be on a board. But it was okay. I was cleared to be on a skateboard about like 6 weeks after the injury, so like I wasn't really like supposed to be doing what I was doing, but like I'm fine now, so not really worried about it.
I think that's the way most of us are.
Yeah.
Yeah, give us an inch, and it's like, we can be on a board?
Yeah.
Let's do it. Let's do it. Well, yeah, good to see you out skating, starting to feel better. 150 days on the mountain. You chose this path to, spend more time on the mountain by, kind of shifting the way you were doing school. And what I'd like to get into is a recap of what you were doing this last year and going all the way back to, the kind of the end of summer from the previous season, because I know you're into a lot. So I'm going to kind of ramble on a few things that I know you were up to, and then you can kind of take this down the storyline. So I know we have like Dirksen Derby. You're doing the ISFA competitions, Brain Bowl session, which I know you've been to at least 2 of, maybe more, but at least 2. Illumination Rock at Hood that you, I know we're throwing down up there. Then there was Austria, right, last, or maybe more of Europe, but there was Austria, Silverton, Revelstoke. Will you kind of guide us through a recap of last year?
Oh, man. Okay. So last year I started off my season. I got an opportunity to go to Innsbruck with a border cross team, ironically enough, which was kind of cool. They were like, oh, do you want to go to Innsbruck with us? So I was like, yeah.
Border cross?
Border cross.
And who was that? How did you get hooked up with that?
So the plan, like the last season and this upcoming season, was to go to the Auburn Ski Club down in like Lake Tahoe, and they had like a group going to Innsbruck, so kind of doing that. But yeah, so we started off like in Innsbruck. We rode like Stubai and Pitstall, and that was really fun. There was like the snow up there like last season was crazy too. Like I think I had the best pow day of my life in Pitstall, which was I did ruin a board though. It was pretty early in the season for a pow day, so but it's all right.
Worth
it's all
it.
right. Yeah, it was worth it. It was worth it. But that was pretty crazy. And they have like this festival called Krampus over there, which was really wild. It's like this weird punk rock. It's like a anti-Christmas almost. I don't know how to explain it. Like there's people who dress up as like giant goats and scare children and hit them with sticks. So that's pretty crazy. But that was the beginning of my season. And then like that was my first real experience outside of the States. So definitely a learning curve. Like all of that was wild to experience. Then I got back and was living in Tahoe, which has kind of always been like a dream of mine. So happy to make that a reality.
Yeah.
Out in like Truckee, California. And then I'm trying to think of my first competition. I think I went up to Canada, was my first kind of debut in IFSA. And it went way better than I expected. And I ended up kind of making a mark, which was pretty cool. We went to Revelstoke and we went to Kicking Horse, and I ended up placing in like 3 out of the 4 comps that I did, which was exciting.
That's
got to,
3 out of 4.
yeah.
That's amazing. And then, and are you in competing with adults? Then are you what kind of where are you at? Because you're talking to people who don't understand how it's set up. Can you kind of give us a little background on that?
Yeah. So in IFSA, you have to compete in 2 stars and 4 stars to like get into the qualifying for like the Freeride World Tour. So I did my first 2-star in Revelstoke, and I ended up getting second in that. So they gave me a wild card into the 4-star. So it's just like a points game kind of. And I absolutely ate shit in the Revelstoke like 4-star, and I had to kind of like work off of that and like learn some lessons from that. And then about a week later, I went over to Kicking Horse, which is really cool.
Beautiful mountain.
And I ended up doing pretty well in like the 2-star. I got first, and I think I got second in the 4-star. So yeah,
Wow,
it went
That's
pretty
rad.
well. And then I ended up qualifying for challengers, which was pretty crazy. Was not expecting that. I almost did not do it, just because I was a little bit, I don't know, overwhelmed, I'd say, just because I wasn't expecting to go. But it was cool. It was exciting. It's like a whole new world, kind of.
That's so rad.
Yeah.
Are you working with anyone as like a coach at all? Or are you just up there, just like, this is what I'm gonna do on my run? Or do you have anyone, helping with eyes on the mountain and, kind of helping you guide you through the zones? You're just out there doing
just
it.
natural free ride.
It's fun. I like to do my own thing.
That's
I don't
so
know.
awesome. That's great.
I feel like the coaching thing kind of like it's never been for me. I don't do well when people are telling me what to do.
Takes the creativity out of it, right?
Yeah.
That's so awesome.
Yeah.
So you're in Europe, then you're doing some competitions,
Yep.
and then that kind of leads you into the heart of winter.
Yep. Kind of just doing qualifiers after that. That was crazy. We got to go to Silverton, Colorado, which was probably one of the coolest places I've ever been. It's like this town of like 400 people in like the middle of Colorado, kind of out there. Nothing really around it. And it's like a town full of like guides, and like it's heli skiing. There's like this small resort that's open like 3 days a week when it's not guiding season. So it's pretty crazy, and the elevation up there is like, I think 10,000 feet at like the base. So it's just insane. Like it was so hard to like walk anywhere or anything like that. And for the competition, we had to hike up to the venue, which was like, I think it was a 2-mile hike up at like 13,000 feet.
Dang.
And it was so difficult. And we had to do it twice, which was
Cooked.
horrible.
Dang.
But
I was going to ask. I was like, were you getting shuttled up there? And you just answered my question. You're having to hike
no.
up there.
I mean, we did get a shuttle on like competition day, which was really nice because like for the snowboard chicks, they usually like run them pretty quick. So we're like the first ones up there, and then like we go like right when we get up there typically. So it was pretty crazy.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So it's such a cool experience. And then how'd that go for you?
Pretty good. I got second, which was exciting because it was my birthday weekend, and I've got to ride the craziest powwow I think I've ever rode. So that was amazing. So amazing. And I probably dropped the biggest cliff I've ever dropped in my comp run on accident. So that was pretty cool, and I like survived it. So yeah.
Right on. And when you're saying crazy, pal, like the line that you were riding, or just it was crazy good, just like all the conditions kind of lined up?
I think the line that I chose was really good just because it was like an air into a chute. So it kind of like it was like probably a 35-foot drop to a chute and just so much pow because it all blew in there. It was already like probably 2 feet of pow before that, and it was just so much more. I was like snorkeling when I was in there. It was crazy. Just
love it. You have clips? Do you have any clips of that?
Yeah. It was live streamed, but the live stream kind of like switched the angle right before I dropped the cliff, so it's just like the top of the cliff. But I think my friend has a angle from like the heli ski. Like she was in the heli, and the heli turned as I was dropping the cliff, and she got the clip. It was crazy. I haven't seen that one yet. But
awesome. So hopefully she can send to you and get that.
Yeah.
That'd be rad. We could get that posted.
It's gotta be a crazy feeling just riding with the heli above you too. Like
I don't remember a single thing of that.
You're locked in.
I blocked it out of my memory somehow. I'm not sure how that happened, but
It's adrenaline,
I think I was just so terrified that I just like went for it. But
yeah, I think you're locked in. It's Terminator style.
yeah.
Yeah. Was that the last competition then? Was that kind of the?
No, I think the last one was Kirkwood, but we also had like a Colorado comp in between there too, but Silverton was definitely the highlight. Kirkwood was great, but the snow was kind of iffy, but we did get to ride the Cirque, which was pretty cool because they usually have that closed off to the public. So that was cool to have that experience. And next year I want to go back and like definitely choose a different line because I think I got a little bit in my head after that, but
That's dope, though.
Picking up the experience, so next year, you remember places and...
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just did this little drop. It was like 35 feet into the chute. Yeah. Humble. A little humble.
On live stream.
Yeah, live, and it was live streaming. And that pulls us back around to Brain Bowl session then in spring.
Yeah. Brain Bowl's fun. I've been doing it for like the last 2 years.
Yeah.
This particular year was really, really fun just because, like, I feel like I got a lot more confident on a board. And I finally, like I've always, like, felt like I could hit the sesh-up jump. And then when I finally hit it, I was like, oh, my gosh, like, I've been, like, waiting to do this for so long. And it's, like, I was having so much fun. So I just did it, like, a million times. Just, like, running up the hill. Like, it was a good, like, way to end off the year.
It looked amazing.
It was amazing. And I won a board. Somehow I didn't realize that it was like a competition. I was just like doing it for fun, but
yeah,
it was really cool.
It's all like riders, right? The riders are the ones who decide on who should get the awards because I think they do a couple different awards there.
Yeah.
What board did you win?
It was a Capita Birds of a Feather board. I'm pretty sure. It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Pretty exciting.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Just humble over there.
That's rad.
It's humbling around the Terminator. So that's a pretty awesome recap of what you're up to. And then that led us into the summer solstice with the Illumination Rock jump. And I think you've been there multiple times as well.
Yeah, that was, I believe, my 3rd year doing it. Pretty sure.
And can you kind of share with everybody what that entails up there, or what kind of goes down?
So basically, they have a bunch of pros go build a jump. And then we all, like, a bunch of people who should not be hiking because they are just so, like, people are chain smoking on the way up, like, pounding beers, like, it's crazy. But, like, they're making it up somehow, and we all, like, kind of, like, hang out at this rock in the middle of, like, Mount Hood. It's pretty cool. And everybody you watch all the pros hit the jumps, and, like, usually people get pretty hammered. Just fun, good time. It's a good core event.
Just a big party of people hucking.
Yes.
Sounds fun.
Yeah. There looks like some people not only hiking up there, but I've seen people hitting that jump that should not be hitting.
Yes, yeah, there was a lot of that, especially this last year. Like, it was crazy. If I was going to break my back anywhere, I would be there. Getting down, though, was the hard part, I think. But
yeah, because you're way up there.
yeah, and I didn't get a sled or anything. Because I didn't realize what I did. I, like, knocked the wind out of myself, so I was, like, laughing because I knocked the wind out of myself really bad, and like, when you, like, break a rib and you're, like honking? I was, like, honking, and I just, like, it was hilarious, and, like, I had the adrenaline running through me, and then I like started realizing like, oh no, like there's something wrong. But I made it down. It was.
So did you hang out for a while then afterwards before, or were you like, I know something's wrong and I should probably start getting out of here?
I kind of just like, I was trying to catch my breath for like 30 minutes, like at the bottom of the jump. And I kind of like moved over and there's a couple of people like checking in on me and we're just like joking around. But I actually like couldn't get up and like I had to have one of my buddies get my backpack and we had to go down. But
That's scary.
So.
Terminator. Mighty Mouse. All of it.
No.
That's crazy. And something that I wanted to ask is because I know when we first talked that you were saying one of your goals was to be a backcountry guide. Yeah. Is that something that's are you still working towards that, or are you looking at, is that kind of on the back burner because you're like, I want to go do all this fun stuff and then kind of come back to that? Where are you at on that? It's
kind of like on the back burner right now, but I definitely am like taking some steps to get like more into that world just because I definitely like I'm excited. I'm really excited to become like something hopefully within like the snowboard industry like that, but I want to take all the opportunities that are given to me right now before I start getting into that. But
that's rad.
Yeah.
So with that realm of kind of putting that in the back burner, do you have any dreams of like, I want to be on that ISFA like tour, like is that a goal, or is it like, doing some more of that border cross stuff? Is it competing in that, or are you just kind of just letting it fall where it falls?
Kind of just letting it fall where it falls. Like I like ISFA and I really want to do filming, like backcountry filming, like because there's been a couple opportunities that have somewhat presented themselves, but that is definitely something that I'm interested in. And then there's also like, I do want to pursue something in freeride. Like I'd like to, goal is to get on to the tour and like hopefully do well in that. But it's hard in the States just because they only allow one woman snowboarder, which is kind of crazy to me.
That's super crazy.
There's so many of us now. It's wild. Like I think the last couple of comps that I did, there was just as many snowboard women as like ski women. Mm-hmm. So I don't really know how that works, but hopefully that'll change soon. But if it does come about, I'd take that opportunity. And then same with like filming. Like I'd really love to film like backcountry parts and stuff like that.
Ooh, sick.
But
have you done any of that? Like with friends or anything?
A little bit. I'm trying to do like a little movie thing with my friends this upcoming winter, like Lydia Nelson and Grace. That's kind of the move right now, but yeah.
And they're both skiers?
They're both skiers.
That's
but
cool.
You gotta start somewhere.
It's kind of been an interwoven theme, I think, of this when we've talked to, I think, our generation and just growing up, that there was so few snowboarders. It kind of sounds like there still is, and you just want to ride with people that want to get out and throw down. So
yeah,
that's awesome. Yeah.
It's always fun to rip with some ladies too, for sure. And especially like people I grew up around too. Like it's cool to see what they're doing, and yeah.
Sweet. Jeff, what do you got for us?
Oh, my favorite part is the snowboard nerd stuff here. I always like to ask, well, what is your everyday setup? Your boots, your bindings, your board. Sounds like you have probably more than one board.
Yes. I'm a big
for
board
every situation.
Nerd. Yes.
Yeah.
I ride the Nitro Optisim for park, and then that's usually I ride like a 144 in that, and then I ride a Nitro Karma for free ride and like my everyday riding, just so I can get used to that. And usually for like bank slaloms, I'll do that one too, just like, because it's more aggressive. Like definitely some more aggressive boards. And then for high backs and stuff, I'll change those like depending on park or free ride. And my angles are like +7 and -6. So just kind of like got to keep the knees kind of good. I used to have it like super cranked on one side, and it like gave me some serious like knee problems and hip problems. So
like super duck.
Yes. Yeah. So yeah.
Then your split board. You have more than one of those, or what's that setup?
I have a Nitro split board. I couldn't tell you the name right now just because I haven't gotten the opportunity to ride it too much like the last couple of seasons or last season. But I got out on that a couple of times. Couldn't tell you the name though. It's a Nitro.
Any sponsors? Good. Are you your Nitro sponsor?
I'm a Nitro Flow rider.
Ooh. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's sick.
It's pretty
And then,
exciting.
Do you any kick? You work at the shop, right?
Not right now. No.
When you say in the shop, 7B.
7B.
Yeah, but you did though.
I did,
Yeah, yeah.
yes. Yeah. I feel like it's a good gig, but I definitely, I don't know, had to start doing something else because I feel like I get so into the world of snowboarding that I just, like, that's all I think about and talk about. So I have to take, like, a little break occasionally.
Are you doing anything now for work?
Yeah. I'm working at a little Mexican restaurant. It's pretty fun. The people there are really nice, and it's, like, mostly, like, girls. I feel like I'm not used to being in that kind of atmosphere, so it's pretty good for me to kind of have that.
A little different than the snowboard shop and
Yeah,
all the
definitely.
guys coming in.
Do you have any other? Are you getting any other flow like from 7B or?
Yeah. I have L1 premium goods, like outerwear, and then like 7B board shop, all that good stuff.
Awesome.
And she wins a lot of swag.
And win stuff.
Swag. Gotta win some swag.
Hardware boards.
Yeah.
Some Capitas on deck if you need.
Nice. So this is a section.
How about this? Before we get into this, why don't we do a smelling salt? And then Jeff has a kind of a new section of what we're looking at that we're calling "What's Your Vibe?"
And then I'll let Ryan be in charge of this.
Of the smelling salt?
Brendan again, as we didn't introduce you. We have Brendan in the back producing. He has his.
I don't have a mic, so.
If you couldn't hear that, doesn't have a mic,
But he's doing a salt.
but he's ready to whack a salt.
He's with us.
So that's
Ryan, you can teach us how to do it?
Oh, yeah. He's got to squeeze it, pop it, give it a little sniff, and it should get you ready to go.
And it'll turn red, and that's what it's supposed to do. So just
Okay.
know that.
And
Okay.
have you ever done one before?
No.
I was going to say, I just saw Dr. Andrew Huberman doing them on Joe Rogan podcast. So the doctor's doing them.
If
They
Huberman's
gotta be,
doing them,
they got to be
if
safe.
Huberman Labs backing it, they got to be safe.
Yeah, so.
Oh,
All right, so we'll do a little cheers on this guy,
Okay.
and then we'll whack away.
Cheers.
Cheers, everybody.
Oh my God.
Come back in. Come back in.
That made my like fingertips cold.
It's burning my hand.
That was
my
Why does
eyes
it,
are
like,
watering.
It smells like hand sanitizer.
Yep. Makes you feel alive.
Yeah. Oh man.
Made my
Teach us
finger-
writing stuff over
made
here.
my fingertips cold. I had to write that. I was like, that was the funniest thing I think I've heard.
I thought it made T just start writing stuff.
Oh my gosh, my
made his fingertips start writing.
my eyes are watering.
Oh man.
All right. Well, on that note, I guess we'll
Wait.
bring it back into the conversation here. And I get the new section I'm seeing, what's your vibe? So we'll just kind of hit you with some kind of like, what's your vibe questions. So what is, what's written here is what is whack and not cool right now in the mountain? What's your take on that? Like what's
would
just
say-
not cool?
Okay. Shaun White stance. Hate that. Cannot stand it.
Can you describe that for?
It's like just like really absurdly wide stances. Like I don't like. There's some people like I've been riding Boreal for a lot of the season, and like it is insane. Like some people just have like full splits. Like that is crazy to me. And then I'm not like probably White Space. I think that one's. I haven't
So that's
been.
Shaun White's board company.
Yes. Yeah.
You mean the
that too.
$1,000 boards that?
Yes, that
Yeah.
I feel like Burton makes them too. I'm pretty sure. I'm not completely sure on that, but seems like it. Because they have like the channels and the all
yeah.
that.
Yeah.
But I'd say probably tight pants too. Not a fan of tight pants.
Me neither.
Speaking of pants, what's the next question?
Oh yeah, pants under or over the high backs. Is that kind of?
Oh, it's under the high backs. Over the high backs. It just I feel like that's such an extra step for why.
Yeah,
I don't get it.
it is kind of weird. I judge those people too. So.
Yeah.
What's next on there?
All right, we'll keep going then. Did you have anything else that was not cool in the mountain? Because
I don't know. I have a lot of like strong opinions, but I can't really think of
Let's keep them going because we have one really strong one, and that's the boombox backpacks. We are not fans of those.
No, absolutely not. Cannot stand that. Or the suit. Do you know what the suitcase grab is? I hate that.
Yeah.
Oh,
hate
yeah.
that.
that was my signature grab for 10 years. Okay?
Really?
It's because you were on the move.
I didn't know for a long time. Okay, guys.
It's okay. It's okay. You always have to learn at like some point though.
Yeah. I just happen to be 35 at the time. No, I'm just kidding.
That's right. That's right. I'm trying to think. Definitely like, like the super quick grab when you like, or particularly in free ride comps when people like sideswipe to a million like little cliffs and then hit like the little cliff and then sideswipe and hit the little cliff and like just do the point gaining thing. That frustrates me. I don't know. I can't think of any more off the top of my head. But
All right. If some surface, then through this, you just let us know.
Sharon, yeah.
Okay.
What's your music type? What are you rocking on the drive up the mountain? Like, what gets you pumped up to snowboard?
All kinds of stuff. I really like punk rock. Lots of Rihanna. Rihanna gets me going.
There's a few Rihanna songs we can get down with.
Yeah. You a big Rihanna fan?
There's like one song that came back that I'll
You
play.
found love in a hopeless place, or
I don't know. I don't know the names of them.
Don't make me start singing it.
What about like Desperado?
And the names, yeah. You got me on that.
Is that your most played song?
No. I mean, like for like when I'm going up to the hill, like I'll bump Desperado or like lots of punk rock, like old music, kind of. Yeah.
Do you listen to music when you compete?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I gotta.
What's like your song like before? Do you have like one that you kind of keep going back to this past season? That
Probably Got the Time by Anthrax. That one's
Ooh,
gets me going.
we're getting after it.
respect.
So is it the same song then before like this last year where you just
Yeah, usually
dial it in
honestly.
and then you're like, let's go.
I always
But
find that
then-
one song, right? That
Yeah.
just gets you going. Just pumps you up.
Every season I have a song. But
I'm curious what Jeff's song is. We won't go there anyways. So I listen to music. And then we were kind of already gotten to the crew. Do you have a name for your crew? Do you guys have a...
not necessarily. Nothing at the moment.
The
but-
Terminators? Maybe?
Terminators.
Terminators.
That'd be pretty
The
crazy.
mighty Terminators.
Yeah. I'll have to get back to you on that like later down the line this season.
And I got coffee or tea. Do you drink either one or both?
Lots of coffee and lots of tea. I'm a very
Both.
caffeinated human being. Yeah.
Nice.
You're also talking about energy drinks. What's the energy drink of choice?
I don't know if you guys have heard of it, but it's called Alani. It's like this like vegan healthy energy drink, but it has like 200 milligrams of caffeine in it, and I like to get juiced.
Knock those boys down.
Yeah.
Shout out Alani, sponsor. Come on.
Oh, there we go.
That'd
Maybe
be awesome.
let's get you lined up with a sponsor. Alani,
Awesome.
let's get on it.
Yes.
That'd be rad.
Yeah.
That'd be crazy.
Start knocking on their door.
Yeah. I spend a lot of money on their drinks, so that would be awesome.
Good
we-
advertising. No, I've never heard of him, and now
Yeah.
we all hear
Yeah,
of him.
and you need some stickers for your board from them.
That'd be pretty cool.
Sponsor.
Cool.
I'll just keep it rocking here. We were talking a little about skating, and do you have any other hobbies besides that, like outside of snowboarding, like summertime hobbies?
I really like art. Really into that. I'd say like backpacking, hiking, skating, cliff jumping, all that good stuff. All the fun summer stuff you can do in Sandpoint.
Yeah.
And
Cliff jumping, base jumping, or
Just cliff jumping like into water, like doing flips and like just trying to like huck your body in weird ways. It's always fun.
and there's like a train trestle. I feel like you guys are jumping off a lot.
Yeah, there's like this place called like we call it the train bridge, out in Sandpoint. You just it's perfect. It like you can like walk out. It's kind of hard to get to like if you're a little afraid of heights, but like once you get out of like past the heights thing, there's like this big concrete slab that's like about probably 20 feet off, probably 15 feet off the ground, that you can like kind of run off of and like do cool stuff.
Nice.
Yeah.
And then are you walking on the train tracks out there? What's the...
Yeah, you can do that. There's like I know a couple of people who like to like wait for the trains and kind of like give the poor train people like a heart attack and like run and jump. But yeah, I mean it's pretty cool. You can jump from the top.
allegedly they're doing that.
Allegedly, all allegedly.
Yep. No, that's awesome. And then any camping? You got camping trips or anything like that you've been...
Yeah. I have a couple that I'm looking forward to coming up. Just doing like backpacking trips out in like Bonners is like a really beautiful area. You can kind of like link up like the lakes. Like there's probably like 5-10 like mountain lakes out there. Yeah, it's pretty exciting.
Lots to explore. Rad. We do have one guest question though, or comment.
Okay.
And so, is it true you ride regular, but you kick goofy?
Oh yeah. Yes, I do that. Yes.
So, can you explain that?
So I don't know. I just flip around before I get on the lift. Unstrap the front foot. I'm not kicking Mongo. Everybody thinks I kick Mongo, but I'm not kicking Mongo. I'm just kicking switch. So, yeah.
So when you unstrap, you just basically just switch it up.
I think it's just better that way because then I can do like switch 1 foot tricks, which I feel like a lot of people can't do. So that's pretty fun.
That is.
Yeah.
So, how do you skate then?
How do I skate?
Can you skateboard?
I don't really know. I think when I was younger, when my dad was getting me on and off the lift, like he would have to hold me like in front of him. But one day I like switched to regular and he's goofy. So I think maybe that's how that came about.
Mirroring.
Yeah.
Each other.
So he just never really caught on until like later down, and I just never really wanted to relearn how to kick because I can't kick regular. It's super weird.
I think so. I think we're gonna have to have a Emma Day, and we just all do that on the lift for.
I've tried
a
once
day.
and I've stopped the lift.
We'll see what happens.
I've tried to go backwards. I can't.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, that's so funny. That's rad. It's weird.
Emma kick day.
Emma kick day.
Yeah.
Everyone's gonna have a ride. Is your birthday during the winter?
Yeah, March 26th. So
All right.
kind of during the winter, like springtime-ish.
Close to me.
But wait, bring that back though. You can't ever ride like a swallowtail or anything because then it'd be really awkward.
I do ride it.
Do you?
Yeah.
Oh,
So it kind of
you
makes
just-
it really hard when I'm doing like free ride stuff and like we're all like trying to kick across like a gnarly ridge and I'm like switch and it's kind of
You got like 6 feet of board behind you.
yeah.
Ryan was trying to get out of that day. That's why he asked that question. Right?
She can do it.
No.
Yeah, you just-
We'll try maybe.
Yeah. So I guess in spring and the winter we'll have to have Emma Day, and we'll record each other getting off the lift and see how that
That'd
goes.
be awesome.
3 of us trying to get on the lift at Silver is already hard. Like all of us backwards, it's gonna be a scene.
It'll be good. That's awesome. So thanks for sharing with that.
Yeah.
And we're gonna, not say who brought that question up, and you can find out for yourself.
Okay.
At this point, we like to have a little shout out to one of our sponsors, and that's Swell Coffee. So it's snowboarder owned and operated. They do have 2 locations, both in Spokane Valley, one at 1604 South Sullivan and 14505 East Trent. So if you're in the area, please support them. They're just on their 6th anniversary. So I know they have some stuff going on. This will probably come out after their anniversary. But anyway, go support them. Thank you, Shane, for being our sponsor. And that leads us into hot takes. These are supposed to be answered quicker than normal, but we don't normally do a good job of that. So if you can't answer quick, then, you want to do one more of those?
I thought we always did these before hot takes.
Jeff's teeing up another salt.
Yeah.
So I think we're
My
going to
other
be on
nostril
one.
needs it, so
All right.
equal it out.
So Emma, you're going to lead us off on this one.
Okay. Am I going first?
Yeah,
Are we gonna
you're-
cheers?
Yeah, we can cheers.
Okay. Let's.
Cheers.
Okay.
Cheers.
And go.
Air cheers.
Oh my god. Oh, that was like worse the second time.
Yeah, it
Oh my
was.
god.
My left nostril. My
Yeah,
poor
I got
left
my
nostril.
left nostril going.
That
Jesus.
one's the back of my throat.
So how's it feeling?
Ready for some hot takes, I think.
All right. So riding, pow, or competing? What's your
Pow. Definitely.
who in the Hull family has the best method?
I don't want to. I'm pretty sure. Maddie doesn't tweak her methods, so then that drives me crazy. So I would say myself or
Another
my dad.
whack.
Yeah, so I was gonna try to have a little sign so that we could all hold them up so that we would vote and then see. Because the one that I saw from last year's Brain Bowl sesh was a killer method that you had. But I haven't seen your dad's in a while, so
He doesn't. I don't think he can bend that way anymore. To be honest. Like,
Easy, we're all kind of there.
Give him the smelling salt.
But he's still backflip. I think he just did a backflip recently. Yeah.
Yeah, he can still backflip. He's just like the bending and he never stretches. So that's what gets him.
All right. So you're claiming best method. We'll just solidify that.
Nope.
Okay. Lift accessible POW or earn your turns on the split board. Which one do you prefer?
Accessible POW. I honestly like it easier. If it was just me on the hill, then I like it that way.
Okay.
But
yeah. Sidebar question. We were talking about this earlier when we were getting some coffee. You like to explore and go out of bounds by yourself?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like to get lost, for sure.
Yeah.
Yes.
And you're saying maybe at Schweitzer is a little more prevalent to get out of bounds just because of having cell phone service and knowing the mountain.
It's a lot easier. Like, I feel like when you're just on your own, it's like, it's fine to get lost. And like, if you get in trouble, like, you can always like call up the homies and they'll find you somehow. Especially if you know like the super locals. Like, there's this guy that goes by the name like Life Coach. You guys probably know him, Matt.
Yep.
He's always like, you can call him up and be like, oh, I'm like by like this like weird creek in like the backside, and he'll be like, oh, I know where you're at, and he'll always find you. So
awesome.
Yeah.
So having the homies on speed dial.
Yep.
What's the best part of living where you live?
In Tahoe?
Let's do
Sandpoint.
In Sandpoint.
Okay. I'd say in Sandpoint, it's probably just like the accessibility to the outdoors.
Okay.
Pretty cool.
And then Tahoe. So will you be down there again this year?
Yes.
Okay. So then Tahoe would be and you're in North Lake, right? North
yeah.
Shore?
So Truckee area.
Okay. What's the best part about being there?
Everything. It's always sunny. There's like a lot more chicks out there kind of like ripping and like doing similar things as me. So that's pretty cool. So many mountains. Just the one downside would be the people. Like how many people there are.
How many people, yeah.
Yes, it's craziness. It's like a zoo.
So yeah, seeing people that look like you and then having like-mindedness. Awesome. Next question would be, do you claim Sagal or do you claim Sandpoint? Is there any beef between the two?
Honestly, I just claim Sandpoint just because Sagal's not really like a town. It's like just an outside little area that people typically live. Like we have like a dollar store or a general store, and then there's like a trailer park. That's pretty much it.
And there's an elementary school.
Yeah, there's an elementary school too. Like there's like it's kind of like that in Sandpoint though. There's a bunch of elementary schools like outside of Sandpoint, and it's just kind of we all go into Sandpoint when it comes to high school.
Yeah, I just heard more people say Sagal. We've had a family lake place out there for years, so we actually drive by like where you guys live.
Yeah.
And I just started hearing it more and more, and I was like, I wonder if there's any beef out there. If you're,
there's a little bit. There definitely is a little bit, especially with like once you start getting down to like the lake area. Those people are very protective of Sagal, and they do not like people from Sandpoint coming down to the lake like in our like zone. But which rightfully so. I feel like it gets chaos. People like leave Sandpoint because of the chaos. So when it comes to our like home base, it's not like ideal. But
kind of funny. That's cool though. You're saying that you were riding with a few skiers, but skiers, snowboarder, doesn't matter. But what local female riders should get shout outs? Like who should be getting light that maybe isn't getting light?
Definitely Lydia Nelson or my sister, like Madison Hall. She's a ripper. I feel like she doesn't really get as much credit as she should get, like sponsors wise and stuff like that. Lydia's just like always been around for me. She's the reason why I did like homeschool and like I don't know, started pursuing free rides. So I owe a lot to her. And same with like Grace Yancey. She's moved to like Mount Baker this last season, and she's been like filming and doing fun stuff.
Sweet.
All rippers.
Cool.
Yeah.
What's your favorite mountain you've ever ridden?
Oh man. Probably Revelstoke. Can I do like 3?
Sure.
Okay.
Do top 3.
Revelstoke, Baker, and Silverton, Colorado.
Awesome mountains.
Yes.
Favorite event or competition?
Oh man. I'd say Baker. Mount Baker Bank Slalom.
Bank Slalom?
Yeah.
Did you win any hardware there?
Did not win any hardware, unfortunately, but the Snow Snake got me.
Oh.
Yeah. But it was a crazy event. It's cool to be like around pros like that.
so accessible.
Yes.
It's a really good event. Did you get to do, when you talked, you already said it was one of your favorite mountains. Did you get to go out on the arm or no?
No, it was actually like really
bad?
like terrible snow conditions when I was there. For like when I did the slalom, but yeah, I don't think I've ever caught Baker at a good time, but I still love it there. It's amazing. And there's so many good snowboarders.
It is. Yeah, it's our
Snowboard
Mecca.
Mecca there.
Yeah.
Rite of passage. Yeah, if you with a friend up there, if you can get over there and you start getting into hemisphere on the arm, then
Yeah.
That-
No, I had
that'll blow your
a
mind.
friend trying to show me around, and she like that was Grace. She was just trying to like just move there, trying to figure out her bearings, and she was like, "Oh, let's go this way," and we'd get cliffed out, and we'd have to hike out, and it's gnarly over there. It's different level.
it is gnarly over there.
Yeah, very, very, very gnarly.
What about female snowboarders? And you can do like a top 3. Who has the best style, or who are your favorite riders? If you'd rather answer that.
Mia Brooks, definitely. She's just like a heavy hitter in general. Marie Francois and Jess Camira.
Yes. Jessica Ramirez.
All rippers.
Yes.
And a great spokesperson for women snowboarding.
Yeah, she's a legend. Same with Marie Francois.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, she was just Balmo. She was just on the Balmo.
Yeah.
I think with that, before we get into the very last question here for the hot takes, what do you think, like, what would you see, or what do you think should be done to help facilitate more women, female, girl snowboarders? Like,
Definitely. I'm not sure. Like, I think just making it more accessible to women, like people being more open-armed to women in the community. I feel like that's kind of what I ran into a bit, was like just more respect for women in the industry would be awesome.
mm-hmm.
Because, yeah.
Yeah. Especially, I think, I'm just going to say it, but like Schweitzer to me is like still like a skier mountain.
Yes.
Kind of has that old boy kind of feel with the skiers.
A little
So
bit.
it's kind of hard to get through maybe some doors just through that.
For sure.
And then maybe even harder as a female.
Yes, definitely. And I feel like, especially like as a snowboarder, it makes it even like double
Yeah.
difficulty. But
And and I think that's what's awesome with what Rory has of supporting.
yeah, they've always been super great. Like,
Both you
and
and your
they've always
sister.
like just treated me like another snowboarder, which I prefer way over. Like, I don't really support like I feel like women are like applauded for doing less than what the dudes are doing, and I don't feel like that's okay. Like, I feel like we should be held to the same ability level as the men.
Yeah.
Like, be rewarded when we actually like throw down, you know?
Agree.
But
And I think you would ask a lot of the pros or that are watching is they're more excited even now with where the progression of women's snowboarding is.
yeah,
So
it's like progressing so fast, especially in freeride. Like, you're seeing like backflips being thrown, like just like spins are being thrown finally, like crazy, just huge like cliff drops. It's cool.
With style too, you know. The
Yeah.
tricks are throwing
Exactly.
style in there.
It's not like the flail or anymore.
Yeah.
Like, that's not really accepted anymore. Yeah.
sweet. Well, you're in a like perfect timeline then for what's going on. So hopefully you keep pushing through on it. And that leads me to the last question we have for you. Do you have a snowboard checklist? Do you have like tricks that you want to do? Are you like one of those kind of nerds that's like, I need it this season, I want to get this done? And then are there mountains that you have like a checklist for, or a bucket list?
I definitely want to travel like as much as possible this next season. I really want to go to Alaska this season. That would be really cool, and I might have the opportunity to. And for tricks wise, I definitely want to like get my backflips on lock, like for like competition stuff, and probably just getting really comfortable with like fives and like try to dive into the world of sevens and like all that good stuff. Be good to learn.
Yeah, so you have a trick list set up. You have a couple mountains that you want to ride.
Yeah.
I saw you hitting the airbag. Was that hood?
Yes.
Did that help?
Yeah, it definitely helps. Like, I think I hate being like, I know that people look down on airbags, but they do help so much. Like,
I think it's awesome.
Yeah.
I think if we had the opportunity to do it, we would have done it.
yeah, exactly. When
I
the
guess we could still
opportunity
do it, but-
presents itself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You build your confidence, why not, right?
Yeah,
Yeah. Then just take it to the mountain.
Yeah.
exactly.
What's next for you?
This upcoming season,
Yeah.
just mostly competing again. I'm gonna be doing some traveling, just kind of trying to get on tour. That's like the goal this season, and maybe some filming potentially.
So when you go down to Tahoe, what will you be doing there?
I'm just gonna be living with the Auburn Ski Club again. Just doing that whole thing. Pretty excited to be back over there. I get to live with like some ripping ladies, and they all do like border crosser slope, so it's kind of cool to see like what they have going on versus what I have going on.
Yeah.
It's cool.
With that transition down there, so during the winter, will you be working at all? Or you just work during the summer, and then nothing during the winter?
Basically, like I just work crazy hours during the summer just so I can like not work at all during the winter.
Rad.
But,
That's awesome. You guys have anything else? Add on to that?
No, I hope that your back recovery goes smooth and you get those sevens dialed in and have a good winter.
It's cool.
Down there. Look forward to seeing
The progressions.
Yep.
Thank you.
Been amazing. And then lastly, what shout outs, thank yous do you have?
Oh man. Definitely shout out to my parents. They've always been super supportive of me. I'm really lucky to have them. And 7B Board Shop, for sure. Those guys have always had my back, and I really appreciate them for that. And just everybody who's helped me along the way. I feel like I've had a lot of support from the community for sure. And IPAC too. They've really helped me out with just everybody.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for taking the time to drive all the way from Sandpoint to do our little podcast.
Thank you guys for including me. I appreciate it.
Yeah. We've been stoked to get you in here and happy that we could catch you before the season kicks off.
Yeah, I'm
Thank you.
excited.
Sweet.
Sweet.
Thanks, Emma.
Yeah.
That was a good one.